ain't no musician ever made no money, Dewey.
What? Of course they do. Plenty of them do.
Name one.
Slim Whitman?
Who the hell is Slim Whitman?
All right, Frank Sinatra.
Who the hell is Frank Sinatra?
Edith, I am starting to think that maybe you don't believe in me.
I do believe in you. I just know you're gonna fail.
What are you talking about, Edith?
What about my dreams?
Edith, I told you I can't build you a candy house. It will fall down. The sun will melt the candy. It won't work.
It will if it never rains. Come on, Miles.
Don't you dare take Miles. You can take the children, but you leave me my monkey.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Yo Joe Jerk toy review. I'm your host, Ben Riley, and today we'll be looking at the Courtney cover girl Krieger. Now let's take a quick look at the box. Up here we have our little piece of artwork that's inconsistent to all the other G.I. Joes in the line. She looks like Marvel's Squirrel Girl. Once again, I am happy that the plastic-free packaging is going the way of the dodo. Down here, we get our digital render. Over here, we get our logo and Hasbro logo. Up here, we got a warning. On this side of the package, we have more of the same artwork from the front. On the back of the package, another digital render. A digital render with her height and accessories. On the bottom, more warnings. On this side of the package, more of the digital stats that I don't care about. I like to make up my own. Starting at the top, she loves to drive the shit out of tanks. She carries tons of ammo. Here, she's a regular Joe Fix-It. Finally, down here, if your sword is chipped, she can forge the shit out of a new one for you. On the bottom of the box, we get more legalese and a barcode. All right, let's get this figure opened. And we're cutting, and we're popping. Oh, come on and get out of there. And there you go, we got our figure and our footlocker. We're gonna take a quick look at this figure in her cardboard tomb. Oh. All right, we'll take a quick look at her footlocker. Pretty much the same thing as every other footlocker. Number 59. All right, let's pop this thing open. All right, now that you got your Cobra and G.I. Joe fruit snacks, let's get them open. Let's see what we got in here. Some fun accessories. We'll check those out in a minute. All right, let's take a look at this figure. Down here, we get reuse of Lady J's boots with some paint on them. Looks pretty good. Nice little details down here in the straps. Nice detail with some texturing down here. We also get the tread effect on the bottom. Up here at her knees, it looks like it's two different pieces of plastic from the pant to the knee. On her thigh, it's the same deal. It's Lady J reuse. Over here, we get a new gun holster. Has really nice texturing and looks like it has a cool stitching line in it. Up at the waist, underneath, it's Lady J again. We get a new belt. Nice texturing in the middle. Got little pockets. Room for accessories. Over here, the double belt meets up. And over to here, which looks like a little flashlight. And another pouch. Right over here, we have a place for her data pad. At the waist area, we get a new sculpt for the shirt. Up here, we get new sculpt with cleavage. Also, we get a brand new jacket, has nice texturing and sculpting. And back here, it looks like we get a dab of different green paint. It gives off a pretty cool effect, the paint down here. Over here on the arms, they look like new sculpts to me. Nice texture in the arms. I could see that the plastic on her arms is 3 different colors. If you look right over here, this part of the arm and right here are the same plastic, but the elbow and the shoulder are also different color plastics. So it looks really oddball in person when you see it. Down at the arms, we got cut off gloves. On the left arm, same as the right, you got that mixed plastic. On her shoulder patch is the Wolverine symbol. Down at her hands, the same gloves. And I gotta address this shoulder. It's swimming. So, yeah, there's QC on this. You can just see it rattling. Now up to the face. And I've seen a lot of these, and I really lucked out. The paint job on mine does not look terrible. The problem is they chose a very bad eye color for this figure. Her eyes almost look yellow, and it really throws everything off. Other than that, the sculpt looks a little weird because I think they did a terrible job on her hair. It really does look goofy and odd. It's not that it's not sculpted good. It just doesn't work with the face that it's on. Let's take a look at these accessories. First up, we have the data pad. Here you can see the Wolverine on there that this controls. On the back, there's really nothing. A little slit right there. She comes with a pistol. Nice detail. Has a little star on the handle. Little bit of paint up here. Pistol looks good. It doesn't look like a Nerf weapon. Over here we have a port for blast effects. She also comes with a wrench. Nice detailed wrench. It looks like a wrench. And last, she comes with this nice shotgun. Nice sculpted detail down here on the handle. Again, it doesn't really look like a Nerf weapon. Other side looks pretty much the same. Again, bored out hole for muzzle effect. Here's a quick look at her with the gun in her hand. Fits in there no problem, looks great. I've added the muzzle smoke effect just so you can see that the port works fine. Here she is with the shotgun. She holds it just fine, no problem. The stock actually goes up against her arm. It's actually a pretty good fit. She also comes with this action wrench, so she could fix nothing so far because we only have one bike. But it fits in her hand really well and it doesn't fall out, surprisingly. Like most of the knives fall out of their hands, this wrench does not fall out of her hand. Data pad fits into her hands, no problem. Looks really good. Now the gun does port into the holster, no problem. On her belt loop, we have room for the wrench. Ports in, no problem. Sits really well in there. On her leg here, the data pad plugs right in. If you see that little slot right there, it matches up with the slot right there. You just take it and slide it in there. Boop. Now, let's take a look at limited articulation, because we all know how these G.I. Joes work. Basically, everything's working pretty good on this. It mainly comes down to the QC on these arms. And now, I can move mine up and down. Honestly, I'm really... there it went.
What the fuck is this? Whose ass didn't I kiss?
Now, I know I'm not the only one. This figure is shit for this reason. So I'm not gonna go over articulation because there's no need to. We all know how these figures work and it would just be a waste of my time and your time. So instead of going over articulation, I have brought out a menagerie of heads so that we can try some kit bashing and get rid of this ugly mug. First up, we have her with a Marvel Legends Black Widow head. I think this is one of the alternate heads on the Rider series. Now, I thought this one would be really cool and out of left field, but this is the Lady Deathstrike head from Marvel Legends. I kind of like this. We still get the red hair. It's flown in the wind, but it looks like she almost has a helmet on. Here, we have her with the Black Widow head that also was included with the Rider wave. I love this hair. It reminds me of Peg Bundy. And I think this head really represents CoverGirl a hell of a lot better than this. Now, yeah, I like the photoreal paint, but who looks more like a CoverGirl here? Now, I know for you Classic Joe fans, you know, this haircut is on the original toy, but, you know, let's update it a little bit. We don't need another Lady J. Here we have her with the Marvel Legends Spider-Man 2-pack Mary Jane. I think this one looks the best so far. I know it's sitting a little high, but with a little bit of adjustment, I think this one's perfect. Another Black Widow head sculpt. This one's from the white suit one. I've seen this head used a lot, and I dig this one. But that Mary Jane, I'm loving that Mary Jane head. Next up, we have Marvel Legends Siren. Now, this one is a total CoverGirl head. I mean, look, her hair's blown in the wind. She's just randomly holding some fucking wrench. It's fucking art. It's beautiful. And now she kind of just looks like a hot Scully from the X-Files. I'm digging this one. And I wasn't going to leave blonde cover girl out. This one is the Sue Richards, the Invisible Woman from Marvel Legends. I think this one is a totally good sub for the blonde-haired version of CoverGirl. I've seen this one done as well, and I could see now it's perfect. It looks great. And last up for customizers, you just need to do a little tweak. But if you use this Jean Grey head from the X-Men 2-pack, I think this one would make a kick-ass one as well. So at the end of the day, and my final thoughts on this thing, I think the figure looks great. I think the QC is fucking garbage, and this is probably the worst made figure. But I have not got to that Crimson Bat yet, so I'll let you know when I get there. I try never to ever open these figures before the review. I always want to film these things and give you my true reactions. And this figure is a big steaming pile of fucking QC problems. Now, I lucked out on my face, but I've seen hundreds of pictures of it trashed. And even when it's printed good, it's not a good face sculpt. I'd take this Marvel Legends head that they've already used twice over this thing. But I am a sucker, and I pose my figures, but I don't play with them that much. So when their arms fall off and shit, it's not the end of the world for me, as long as they pop back in. And every QC issue I have with G.I. Joes, thankfully, the shit just pops back in. And I hope that's the same for you guys. I like the figure? Yes. Do I like the QC? Fuck no. And that's all I got today, people. I'd like to thank you for stopping by, and I'll catch you on the next review. Woo! Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.